The universe was vast, cold, and indifferent. Among its countless stars, planets, and civilizations, Earth was a tiny, insignificant blue speck. The galactic powers, advanced, ancient, and terrifying, had heard of humans, of course, but they laughed at the idea of humanity being a serious threat. Primitive, the emissary of the Varkan Empire had said during a council meeting. Their technology is barely spacefaring. Their minds are bound by emotion and instinct. They will not survive contact with the larger galaxy. And so, humanity went unnoticed, until the day the first signal reached the stars. It was a faint transmission, crude by alien standards, but it contained a single unmistakable message. Humans were listening. On Earth, the United Nations Space Command intercepted fragments of alien communications, vessels and distant systems, fleets far larger than anything humans had ever imagined. Dr. Elena Rivas, Chief of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, pored over the signals. Her brow furrowed as she spoke in the dimly lit control room. They don't know we exist yet, but they will. And when they do, we'll need every advantage we have. Meanwhile, in orbit above Mars, Earth's first deep space battle fleet, still under construction, trained in secret. Captain Aaron Vega stood on the bridge of the Pioneer, watching the red planet shrink behind him. His voice was calm but resolute. Every system in the galaxy thinks they're the apex. Every one of them thinks they're smarter than us. Let them underestimate us. It's the only advantage we've got. The first encounter came sooner than expected. The Varkan Empire dispatched a reconnaissance force, a squadron of colossal warships with firepower capable of annihilating a planet. They arrived in the Sol system, orbiting Jupiter, observing Earth with disdain. Admiral Selker of the Varkan fleet sent a communication directly to Earth. A towering hologram flickered into existence above the planet's orbital relay, a being with 6 limbs, skin like molten metal, and eyes that glowed with cold intelligence. Humans, the alien intoned, its voice vibrating across frequencies humans could barely perceive. You have attracted the attention of powers far beyond your comprehension. Prepare to surrender. Resistance is pointless. From Earth's command center, General Marcus Lee spoke sharply. Open a channel, he ordered. Elena and Vega exchanged glances. Do we even try to negotiate? Vega asked quietly. Lee's eyes were steel. No. We buy time. Every second counts. The human response was broadcast across multiple frequencies. We are not a species that surrenders, Lee said firmly. We do not negotiate out of fear. If you wish to test us, you will learn the consequences. The Varkans laughed, a sound like grinding stone against steel. Consequences? You are insignificant. Your planets, your fleets, nothing. We shall see how long your arrogance lasts. But humans were never just what the Varkans could see. While the alien fleet moved into position, Earth scientists deployed a series of experimental defenses. Nanite swarms capable of disassembling starship engines, AI-controlled fighter drones, and gravity-manipulating warheads were launched into Jupiter's orbit. The first strike was a shock. Human fighters, small, agile, and seemingly fragile, darted through the Varkan shields. Torpedoes slipped past energy barriers, crippling the lead vessel. Selker roared in fury. How can such primitives? The humans didn't answer. They had no time. The battle unfolded in 3 dimensions. Above Jupiter, around the asteroid belt, and even inside its magnetic storms, where alien ships could barely maneuver. Every human tactic seemed improvisational yet devastatingly effective. Elena monitored the battlefield from the orbital command station. They're using the asteroid field as cover? But wait, look at the trajectory of the drones. They're predicting the Varkans' maneuvers. It's like they know what they're thinking. Vega's voice was tense. They're learning. Every strike we make teaches them something new. Keep pressure on. Don't let them adapt fully. For hours the battle raged. Then, as the Varkan fleet attempted a full retreat, a massive human counterstrike struck at their formation. Entire wings of alien ships were torn apart. Selker, stunned, realized too late that humans were not the fragile prey the galaxy expected. When the dust settled, the Varkans had lost almost a third of their reconnaissance fleet. Their message of superiority had been met with human ingenuity, audacity, and relentless willpower. Selker's final message was laced with disbelief and warning. You are not what we thought. This is not over. On Earth, the world watched in awe. Humanity had survived its first real contact. The galaxy had begun to take notice, but they had no idea what was coming next. Vega looked out at the stars from the Pioneer. They laughed at us, he muttered. They still do. But they'll learn soon enough. Humans are not easy to break. Elena nodded. And the universe doesn't even know the half of it yet. Above, the stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to a war that was only beginning. And for the first time in centuries, humanity knew they were not just surviving. They were ready to fight back. The victory over the Varkan reconnaissance fleet spread across the galaxy like wildfire. At first, many advanced civilizations refused to believe it. How could a fledgling species, confined to a single solar system, best a force known to crush entire planets with ease? But the evidence was undeniable. Transmissions intercepted by alien monitoring stations showed human ships striking with precision, adapting faster than any known species. The galaxy began to whisper, "Humans are dangerous." In the ornate council chambers of the Terranen Dominion, a civilization older than most stars, voices rose in alarm. The Dominion's High Chancellor, a crystalline entity named Psycharon, leaned over the polished communication table. "They've done what no species should do," Psycharon said, shards of light shifting in agitation. "Humans are not primitives. They learn, they adapt, and they fight as though instinct alone drives them. We cannot ignore this." A senior advisor hissed. "Chancellor, should we issue a warning? Or—" "No," Psycharon interrupted sharply. "Warnings are useless. They will interpret hesitation as weakness. Prepare a delegation. We must assess their potential, and if necessary, contain it." Back in the Sol system, Earth's leaders were already preparing. Humanity had survived its first test, but intelligence reports showed more alien fleets moving toward the inner systems. This was no longer reconnaissance. This was observation, calculation, and preparation for conflict. General Marcus Lee addressed the Earth Council from the orbital command station, his voice calm but resolute. "We are still vulnerable. The Varkans were only a fraction of what's out there. But our strength isn't in numbers. It's in strategy, adaptability, and courage. We fight smarter than anyone expects." Captain Aaron Vega added, "We need allies, or at least understanding, from other alien races. And we need information. Every system, every fleet, every weapon counts. Knowledge is the first weapon of survival." Dr. Elena Rivas leaned forward, pointing at a three-dimensional map of the local galaxy. "We have intercepted signals from multiple factions, some hostile, some neutral. The Terranen Dominion is moving quietly but decisively. They're watching the Varkans report on us and they'll act soon. Our next move must be precise. One misstep could ignite war on a scale humanity has never faced." The first human offensive mission was daring. Using modified stealth ships, a small fleet slipped past detection to strike at Varkan supply lines near the outer rim. The humans targeted resource convoys, fuel depots, and repair stations. Anything that could slow the enemy without initiating full-scale war. The battle was brutal. Human pilots, trained to think in 3 dimensions, weaved through asteroid belts, energy storms, and gravity wells. Drones deployed microsingularity mines, collapsing sections of space around alien ships. Every maneuver was calculated, every strike devastating. One pilot, Lieutenant Aisha Patel, transmitted back in exhilaration, "They don't even know what hit them. It's like they're blindfolded and we're writing the map of their defeat in real time." Meanwhile, the Terranen Dominion watched closely. Psycharon's crystalline form shimmered as he analyzed human tactics. "Remarkable," he muttered. "They are unpredictable. And yet, there is method to their chaos. This is not mere instinct. This is strategy." The Dominion dispatched an envoy to Earth under a banner of cautious diplomacy. The alien ship emerged in orbit around Venus, sleek and translucent, reflecting sunlight like liquid crystal. A projection appeared, Psycharon himself, speaking in tones that resonated in human minds. "Humans of Sol," he said. "We recognize your ingenuity and your capacity for survival. But the galaxy is not yours to command. There are rules, powers, and forces that you do not yet understand. Cooperation may serve you well. Defiance may bring destruction." Elena Rivas stepped forward, her voice steady. "We do not seek war unnecessarily. But humanity will never bow to threats. If the galaxy wishes to exist peacefully alongside us, it will recognize our right to defend ourselves, and to rise as equals." Psycharon paused, considering. "Your audacity is troubling. Yet there is something in you the galaxy has not seen in millennia. Perhaps it is worth watching further. We will not act hastily." As the envoy departed, Vega whispered to Lee, "Watching us, learning from us, just like the Varkans. They don't understand yet. But they're starting to realize humans aren't just survivors. We're architects of our own destiny." and destiny, it seemed, was about to accelerate. In the following weeks, humans discovered another shocking truth. A coalition of alien races, some ancient, some young but technologically superior, had begun sending fleets toward the Sol system. Each species had underestimated humanity before, but each report now painted the same picture. Humans are cunning, adaptable, and ruthlessly efficient. The Sol Council convened in urgency. "We are being watched," Lee said. "And soon more than watched. If we wait passively, we risk annihilation. We need a plan that demonstrates strength and diplomacy, both at once." Elena added, "We have an opportunity. If we strike at the right moment, show our capability without overextending, we can establish humanity's place in the galaxy. Not as prey, not as pets, but as equals, or something stronger." The humans' plan was audacious. A dual operation, a show of force near the Varkon home systems and a diplomatic message to the Tyrannan Dominion and other observing species. Fleets moved like shadows across the void, their weapons primed, their tactics unpredictable. As Earth's ships prepared to leave the Sol system, Vega looked at the stars beyond, glowing with unknown civilizations. "They laughed at us," he said softly. "They still do, just a little. But soon they'll learn humans are not to be mocked." Above, the galaxy held its breath. The first true human-led offensive was about to begin, and with it, the universe would witness what happens when underestimated prey becomes the apex predator. The Sol system's outer rim glimmered with the restless movements of humanity's growing fleet. Every vessel was a masterpiece of improvisation and ingenuity. Some were sleek and fast, designed for hit-and-run strikes. Others were massive carriers, bristling with drones and experimental weaponry. Captain Aaron Vega stood on the bridge of the Pioneer, staring at the holographic star map. "All eyes on the Varkon supply chain," he said. "Every convoy destroyed weakens their network. But the Dominion is watching. And we know the Krillari will soon send scouts. We can't be sloppy." Dr. Elena Rivas adjusted her glasses, her mind racing. "We're not just attacking ships. We're sending a message. Humans are unpredictable, relentless, and lethal. Every maneuver, every strike, teaches the galaxy a lesson it won't forget." The first target was a massive Varkon repair station orbiting a neutron star, a fortress of steel and energy fields. The humans approached with care, using the star's gravity to mask their trajectory. Lieutenant Aisha Patel piloted the lead strike craft, weaving between gravitational anomalies, while drone swarms peeled off toward the station. "They'll never see this coming," Patel said, voice taut with excitement. "It's like we're ghosts moving through fire." As the drones detonated their microsingularity charges, the station shuddered. Energy shields flickered, then failed. Human fighters darted in, precision torpedoes tearing through hulls. In minutes, the once impenetrable fortress became a debris field scattered across the void. The Varkon High Command, observing from their distant command hub, could hardly comprehend what they were seeing. Selker's six-limbed form trembled with fury. How can such primitives? They should be annihilated. Yet even as the Varkans scrambled reinforcements, another, subtler force moved. The Tyrannan Dominion had dispatched observers disguised as neutral traders. Psycharon's crystalline envoy transmitted a private message to the Sol Council. "Humans demonstrate capacity for destruction beyond any species at their stage," Psycharon said. "They are a variable the galaxy has not calculated. Containment may be impossible. Diplomacy must be reconsidered." General Marcus Lee, listening to the transmission, allowed a rare smile. "They're learning just like we intended. Fear is the first weapon of the galaxy. We'll wield it carefully." But the galaxy was not a simple place. As the humans continued their campaign against Varkon outposts, the Krillari, an insectoid species famed for their relentless hive-mind coordination, entered the Sol system. They had underestimated humans too long. Their fleets, vast and numerous, swarmed the outer planets, expecting minimal resistance. The first Krillari attack caught some human patrols off guard. Massive organic dreadnoughts, armored like living fortresses, struck with crushing speed. Several human ships were destroyed in the initial salvo. Vega's voice cracked through the comms. "Hold formation. Adapt. Every loss is a lesson. Every victory counts twice." Humans responded with unorthodox tactics. Using gravitational slingshots and asteroid field ambushes, they turned the Krillari's numbers against them. Drones interfered with hive-mind communication, creating chaos within the swarm. Small squadrons of human fighters exploited gaps in armor that no alien commander had anticipated. In orbit around Saturn, Lieutenant Patel executed a daring maneuver. She piloted her fighters straight into the Krillari formation, releasing an experimental graviton pulse. The shockwave collapsed part of the fleet into Saturn's rings, scattering debris and crippling command structures. The Krillari's Hive Queen, a terrifying entity radiating psychic energy, reacted with fury. "Impossible," she hissed. "How do they anticipate?" Meanwhile, Earth received an unexpected envoy from a previously unknown species, the Veari, a race of beings who resembled living prisms of light. They had observed humanity's adaptability and cunning. Their leader transmitted a message. "You are remarkable. Your resilience is unmatched. Your strategies defy logic. Align with us, and the galaxy itself may bend to your influence." Elena Rivas studied the message carefully. "They want an alliance, but we must be cautious. Every new ally changes the balance of power. One misstep and we face war on multiple fronts." Captain Vega, eyes fixed on the star map, made a decision. "We use their offer as leverage. We do not join, yet. But their support, or even the threat of it, could make the Varkans and Krillari hesitate. That hesitation is a weapon we can wield better than any gun." As human fleets prepared for the next wave of strikes, a new revelation came from deep space sensors. An ancient alien race, long thought extinct, the Orati, was awakening. Massive ships, older than human civilization itself, were moving toward the Sol system. Their motives were unclear, but their presence alone sent tremors across the galactic councils. General Lee addressed the command bridge, voice steady but grave. "We've survived the Varkans and the Krillari. The Dominion is cautious. The Veari watch. And now the Orati stir. Humanity stands at a turning point. Every decision we make will echo across the stars. Every battle will define our place in the galaxy." Vega clenched his fists. "Then we show them what it means to underestimate humans. We strike not only with ships but with strategy, cunning, and resolve. Let the galaxy see that Earth is not a speck to be ignored. It is a force to be reckoned with." Above Saturn's rings, human and alien ships clashed in a symphony of light, fire, and calculated chaos. The universe, vast and indifferent, had never seen such defiance. And the galaxy for the first time began to whisper not with amusement, but with awe. The stars themselves seemed to tremble as humanity's voice echoed across space. "We are not your prey. We are your reckoning." The galaxy was no longer merely observing humans. It was calculating them, attempting to anticipate the impossible. What a species so underestimated could do next. And yet, every calculation fell short. In the outer system near Neptune, human fleets gathered in secret. Admiral Selena Cho, now in command of the newly formed Earth Defense Armada, stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute. Her eyes swept over the holographic map displaying multiple alien fleets converging on Sol. "They think we are cornered," Cho said quietly. "They do not realize corners are for prey, not predators." General Marcus Lee, monitoring communications from Earth, nodded. "We've drawn their attention, yes. But now we turn that attention into advantage. We are about to walk a gauntlet the galaxy believes will break us, but it will break them instead." The first challenge came from the Varkans, still reeling from previous defeats. They launched a massive fleet in a direct strike on the outer planets, intending to crush Earth's defensive positions before other species could intervene. Human intelligence, however, had anticipated this. Using decoy fleets, holographic projections, and stealth maneuvers through the asteroid belt, humans lured the Varkans into an ambush. Captain Aaron Vega, leading a squadron of elite strike ships, saw the trap unfold. "Move in," he ordered. "Predict their retreat but don't let them escape. Every moment counts." As Varkan ships surged forward, human drones activated experimental graviton nets, slowing the enemy ships and disrupting their engines. Torpedoes ripped through the formations and in minutes, the Varkans suffered catastrophic losses. The survivors scrambled in disarray, realizing the humans had not only anticipated their attack, they had controlled it. Meanwhile, the Krillari fleet, observing the battle from a distance, began its own assault. Their dreadnoughts swarmed toward Uranus, expecting to meet weakened human forces. Instead, they encountered layered defenses, automated turrets, electronic warfare pulses, and microsingularity mines hidden in the planet's rings. Human fighter squadrons darted in, striking with lethal precision. "Chaos is our ally," Lieutenant Aisha Patel said to her squad. "They expect us to fight like them. We fight like humans. Unpredictable. Relentless. Smart." As the Krillari struggled against Earth's tactics, the TRNN Dominion sent an envoy to negotiate a ceasefire, or at least gauge humanity's ambitions. Sci-Karen's crystalline figure appeared in orbit above Mars, addressing the Council directly. "Humans," Sci-Karen said, voice resonating with cautious respect. "Your victories are unprecedented. Yet the galaxy is a delicate balance of power. You must understand, your actions ripple across star systems. We seek a dialogue before conflict escalates beyond repair." Elena Rivas responded calmly, yet with authority. "We understand. We also understand that the galaxy underestimated humans for too long. Our goal is not conquest but survival, recognition, and equality. Let the results of battle speak to our capabilities." The envoy departed, leaving a tension-filled silence. But the humans' attention quickly turned to a far greater threat, the Aura-T. The ancient race, rumored extinct, had awoken. Massive ships, older than any civilization on record, moved with deliberate, almost majestic purpose. Sensors picked up their approach from beyond the Oort cloud. Their motives remained a mystery, but their presence alone terrified even seasoned alien commanders. General Lee convened the Sol Council urgently. "We are no longer facing a single enemy. The galaxy is converging upon us. The Aura-T may not attack immediately, but their observation will influence every other species' decision. We must act decisively." Captain Vega proposed a daring strategy: strike simultaneously at Varkan and Krillari staging areas while sending a diplomatic demonstration to the Tyronen Dominion and Veari. The operation required precision, timing, and audacity beyond what any human or alien had previously attempted. "Every move must serve three purposes," Vega explained. 1. Weaken our enemies. 2. Demonstrate our strategic genius. 3. Show the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated or contained. The operation commenced. Human fleets split into multiple vectors. One force engaged the Varkans head-on, drawing their attention. Another, under Vega's direct command, executed a stealth attack on Krillari supply lines using wormhole traversal technology humans had perfected in secret. Meanwhile, a diplomatic vessel displayed advanced holographic simulations of humanity's technological potential to the Tyronen and Veari observers, sending a clear, silent message: humanity could dominate if forced but preferred caution. The galaxy watched, riveted. Alien fleets, expecting chaos, were instead drawn into human-controlled battles that displayed foresight, adaptability, and ruthless efficiency. The Varkans lost another quarter of their fleet. The Krillari were forced to retreat in confusion, their hive mind disrupted by human tactics. Even Sci-Karen and the Veari observers could not hide their awe. As Vega surveyed the aftermath, he turned to Cho. "They laughed at us," he said quietly. "They still do," in whispers. "But they're learning the truth: humans are not prey. We are apex predators. And the galaxy has never seen anything like us." Elena Rivas, watching sensor feeds of distant alien capitals trembling at humanity's audacity, added, "They will remember this day. They will learn that underestimation is deadly when faced with humanity." Above, the stars themselves seemed to pulse with silent acknowledgement. Humanity had survived the gauntlet, not by strength alone, but by intelligence, cunning, and audacity. And as the first whispers of fear spread through the galaxy, one fact became clear: the universe could no longer ignore Earth. The universe had laughed at humanity. But after Part 4, the laughter was gone. The galaxy had taken notice. The Varkans licked their wounds. The Krillari regrouped. Even the Tyronen Dominion, cautious by nature, began whispering warnings in distant councils. And yet, humanity was only beginning to show what it could do. In the shadow of Jupiter, the Earth Defense Armada convened. Admiral Selena Cho's flagship, Resolute, hung in the void like a silent sentinel. Her voice was firm over the comms. "This is not just a battle for survival," she said. "It is a battle for respect, for recognition, and for our place in the galaxy. Every decision we make from this point forward will echo for centuries." Captain Aaron Vega stood beside her, gazing at the assembled fleet. "They believe we are prey," he said. "Let's make sure they understand that humans are apex predators, and that apex is earned through intelligence, not just firepower." The first strike came from the Varkans, desperate and furious. Massive warships appeared near Saturn, their engines blazing, weapons charging. Humanity had predicted this. As the Varkans advanced, human drones deployed across multiple vectors, creating holographic decoys and electronic warfare fields that disrupted targeting systems. Lieutenant Aisha Patel piloted a stealth fighter squadron into the fray. "We move like shadows," she said, voice tense. "They won't see us coming until it's too late." The battle erupted in a symphony of destruction. Varkon ships fired beams of concentrated energy, only to find empty void where human vessels had been seconds before. Microsingularity mines detonated in the asteroid belt, swallowing entire squadrons of alien ships. The humans struck with precision, adapting faster than the Varkons could respond. But the Varkons were only the beginning. The Krillari, sensing weakness, launched a coordinated attack from the outer rim. Hive mind dreadnoughts surged forward, their psychic signals attempting to coordinate attacks. Humans responded by jamming their communications with AI-controlled interference arrays, effectively cutting the hive mind's link to its vessels. Chaos erupted in the Krillari fleet. Admiral Cho activated the final phase of humanity's plan, a coordinated strike targeting the Varkon and Krillari command vessels simultaneously. Fleets split and reformed, exploiting gravitational anomalies and using wormhole jumps to appear unexpectedly. Torpedoes tore through alien formations, crippling command ships and throwing the remaining forces into disarray. Meanwhile, diplomacy worked in tandem with warfare. A human envoy, equipped with advanced holographic simulations, projected a demonstration of Earth's technological potential to the Tijerwenen Dominion and the Veari. The message was clear: humanity could dominate if forced, but preferred restraint. High Chancellor Sai, observing from his crystalline capital, spoke softly to his advisors. They are not like any species we have encountered. Their intelligence, their unpredictability, it defies all precedent. We cannot fight them outright, yet ignoring them is impossible. The humans' audacity forced the galaxy to pause. News of humanity's strikes spread faster than any fleet could travel. Alien species, previously dismissive, began sending reconnaissance and diplomatic envoys. Whispers spread through the councils: the humans are more than survivors. They are strategists, fighters, and manipulators of war itself. Yet the greatest threat loomed beyond the outermost reaches. The Orati, the ancient race long thought extinct, approached the Sol system with deliberate purpose. Massive ships, black as void itself, radiated power and authority. Sensors revealed that their fleets dwarfed anything humanity had seen, yet the humans remained unshaken. General Marcus Lee addressed the Sol Council. The Orati may not yet understand us, but they will. Every action we take now sends a message. Humans are cunning, adaptable, and relentless. We fight not for conquest, but to ensure we are not destroyed simply for existing. As the first Orati vessels entered the outer system, human forces executed an unprecedented strategy: divide and conquer, using deception, speed, and precision strikes to destabilize the alien coalition before it could coordinate fully. Humans struck at key supply lines, deployed drone swarms into gravity wells, and used wormhole jumps to outmaneuver fleets hundreds of times larger. Even the Orati were surprised. Their ancient commanders had never witnessed a species that combined ingenuity, adaptability, and fearlessness so effectively. Reports from their fleet whispered across the galaxy: humans are dangerous beyond reckoning. Amid the chaos, Lieutenant Patel transmitted a line that would become legendary among human forces. Every loss teaches us, every victory strengthens us. The galaxy thinks it knows predators, but it hasn't met humans yet. In orbit above Saturn, Captain Vega watched as alien fleets faltered under human strategy. They underestimated us, he muttered. They still do. But the time for underestimation is over. As the battle waned, a fragile silence fell across the solar system. The Varkons and Krillari had suffered devastating losses. The Tijerwenen Dominion and Veari were in cautious dialogue, and the Orati observed silently, intrigued and wary. Humanity had not only survived the War of Shadows, they had reshaped the galaxy's understanding of power. Admiral Cho turned to Vega and Rivas. "We've survived today," she said. "But tomorrow the galaxy will come to see Earth differently. They'll test us, they'll challenge us, and we will rise, not just to meet them but to lead." Elena Rivas smiled faintly. "They thought the universe was laughing at Earth," she said. "But now the galaxy will remember our name." And for the first time in centuries, humanity did not fear the stars. They had become a force the galaxy could no longer ignore. The universe had laughed, until humanity fought back. The galaxy was no longer observing humans, it was reacting. Every major power had adjusted their calculations, yet none could fully predict Earth's next move. Humanity had survived the initial gauntlet, but now the stakes escalated to a level no species had experienced in millennia: full-scale galactic war. In orbit around Mars, General Marcus Lee addressed the Command Council. "The Varkons and Krillari are weakened, but the Orati and other species are mobilizing. We cannot merely defend, we must dominate strategically. Humanity cannot afford hesitation. Admiral Selena Cho's fleet prepared for a coordinated strike across multiple systems. Her flagship, Resolute, hung in the void like a predator stalking unseen prey. We strike where they least expect us, she said. Divide their attention. Force them into chaos. Every ship, every weapon, every tactic counts. Captain Aaron Vega stood on the bridge, gazing at the holographic display of interstellar movements. The galaxy thinks it can contain us. It cannot. It has never faced humans at full cunning, full resolve, full power. The first strike targeted a Varkon fortress near the asteroid belt. It was heavily shielded and armed, but humans had learned to exploit predictability. Using wormhole jumps, microsingularity mines and AI-piloted fighter swarms, the fleet tore through the defenses. The fortress exploded in a blaze of fire and debris, sending a clear message across the void: humans were no longer to be underestimated. Meanwhile, the Krillari launched a desperate counteroffensive. Their dreadnoughts swarmed toward Saturn, attempting to overwhelm human positions. Lieutenant Aisha Patel piloted her squadron through the chaos. "Remember everything we've learned," she said. "They think we fight with instinct. We fight with strategy." The human fleet executed a daring maneuver. Using gravitational anomalies near Saturn's rings, they split the Krillari forces, isolating command vessels from their squadrons. Microsingularity pulses disabled engines, while precision torpedoes crippled weapons arrays. The Krillari suffered catastrophic losses, and the Hive Queen, telepathically enraged, realized humans had mastered tactics no hive mind had anticipated. But humanity's greatest challenge was still ahead: the Aura-T. Their massive vessels dwarfed human ships, ancient engines exuding a dark, silent power. When they entered the Sol system, sensors trembled with the enormity of their presence. Every human strategist knew one mistake could obliterate Earth. General Lee convened an emergency council. "We cannot win by sheer force," he said. "We must outthink them, outmaneuver them, and use their expectations against them. This is the apex test of humanity's intellect, courage, and adaptability." The strategy was audacious: divide the Aura-T fleet, strike with precision at key nodes, and force them to question their assumptions. Humans deployed decoy fleets, wormhole-jumping strike teams, and drone swarms capable of disassembling entire ship engines in seconds. Every move was calculated, every strike synchronized to perfection. Admiral Cho activated humanity's secret weapon, the Eclipse Array, a system capable of generating localized gravitational distortions strong enough to disrupt even Aura-T engines. As the first Aura-T vessels crossed into the inner system, the array pulsed. Massive ships slowed, drifted uncontrollably, and collided. Humans exploited the chaos, striking decisively at command vessels. Captain Vega watched in awe. "They've faced empires older than our sun," he murmured. "Yet they cannot predict us. They cannot contain us. They are learning too late what humans are capable of." Amid the battlefield, shocking betrayals unfolded. Certain alien factions, previously aligned against humans, secretly negotiated with Earth after witnessing their prowess. The Vayari offered intelligence and limited fleet support, shifting the balance of power. Even parts of the Tirwenen Dominion quietly provided resources and star charts, convinced that alliance, or at least neutrality, was wiser than annihilation. Dr. Elena Rivas monitored communications and battlefield data. "The galaxy is fracturing," she said. "Every faction is recalculating. Our presence is not just survival, it's reshaping the politics of civilizations older than Earth itself." In the climax of the battle, human forces executed a bold move: simultaneous strikes on Aura-T warp gates, supply hubs, and command vessels. Using AI-assisted coordination, human squadrons exploited weaknesses no alien species had anticipated. The Aura-T suffered significant losses, their ancient command structures in disarray. For the first time in millennia, their legendary confidence faltered. In the aftermath, silence fell across the Sol system. Humanity had survived the War of Titans, not by brute force alone, but by intelligence, adaptability, and audacity. The galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. A species underestimated and mocked, now demonstrating apex capability across strategy, technology, and willpower. Captain Vega turned to Admiral Cho. "They will think twice before underestimating humans again. Not just the Varkans or Krillari, but every civilization that dares cross us." General Lee added quietly, "They laughed at Earth. They thought we were weak. But now, humanity is a reckoning. And the galaxy will remember." Dr. Rivas smiled, looking at the stars. The universe thought it could ignore us. It can't anymore. We've survived, we've adapted, and we've dominated. Humanity is no longer a fledgling species. We are apex. Above the battle-scarred planets, the stars reflected humanity's triumph. The universe had laughed at Earth. But after the War of Titans, that laughter had ended. The battlefield was quiet now. Silence hung over the Sol system, broken only by the distant hum of human fleets returning to orbit and the debris of shattered alien warships drifting across space. Humanity had survived the War of Titans, a conflict that spanned multiple star systems and challenged the galaxy's oldest civilizations. Captain Aaron Vega stood on the bridge of the Pioneer, gazing at the remnants of alien fleets. "They thought they could destroy us," he murmured. "They thought Earth was a speck, weak and insignificant. They were wrong." General Marcus Lee addressed the Earth Council from Mars. "We have proven that humans are not only survivors, but masters of strategy, innovation, and resilience. The galaxy now knows our name. But this victory is not the end. It is the beginning of humanity's rightful place among the stars." The galaxy itself was shifting. The Varkans had retreated to rebuild, humbled by defeat. The Krillari reconsidered their aggressive expansion, wary of humanity's unpredictable tactics. Even the Tijerwenen Dominion, ancient and cautious, extended a formal offer of alliance, recognizing that humans were a power that could not be ignored. High Chancellor Sycarin's crystalline figure appeared in orbit above Mars. "Humans of Sol," he said, voice resonating with awe. "We have observed your ingenuity, your courage, and your audacity. The galaxy underestimated you. No longer. We offer our cooperation and recognition of your sovereignty across your system and beyond." Dr. Elena Rivas spoke for humanity. "We accept dialogue, alliance, and diplomacy, but only as equals. We will not bow, we will not kneel. Humans have proven our place and we intend to hold it." Even the Orati, the ancient race whose presence had once inspired fear, acknowledged humanity's apex capabilities. Reports from their commanders, transmitted through neutral channels, whispered across the galaxy. "Humans are unlike any species we have faced. Their minds, their adaptability, they are apex predators in thought and strategy." Humanity's triumph was not only military. Across the Sol system, colonies were being rebuilt, infrastructure strengthened, and new technologies deployed. The Eclipse Array, gravitational manipulation engines, and AI command systems were now integrated into every major vessel. Humanity had become not only a military power, but a technological one, reshaping what was possible in space travel, defense, and communication. Captain Vega walked through the corridors of the Pioneer, speaking quietly to his officers. "The galaxy thought it could ignore us. They laughed at Earth. But now, every species, from the smallest scouts to the oldest civilizations, will remember our ingenuity, our courage, and our will." On Earth, citizens celebrated. Holographic transmissions projected the story of human victory across the planet. Children gazed up at the stars with wonder and pride. Humanity had risen from a fragile species on a single planet to a force capable of holding the galaxy's attention and respect. Yet even in triumph, caution remained. Humanity had survived not by recklessness, but by calculation, adaptability, and foresight. The galaxy was vast and full of unknown threats. Humans had won this war, but the story of survival and supremacy was far from over. Admiral Selena Cho addressed the fleet one final time. "We have proven that humans are not prey. We are apex. But we must continue to evolve, adapt, and think ahead. Today we celebrate, but tomorrow we prepare for what comes next. The universe will always test us. And we will always rise." Dr. Rivas added, "The galaxy will remember the lesson of Earth. Underestimate humans and you risk annihilation. Fear, respect, or alliance, these are the only options. And all will come on humanity's terms." In orbit above Earth, Captain Vega and his crew watched the stars stretch endlessly. For centuries, humanity had struggled to survive, to thrive, and to explore. And now, the universe had acknowledged something fundamental. Humans were not merely participants in the galactic theater, they were its unpredictable apex protagonists. Vega smiled faintly. "They laughed at us," he whispered. "And now, they know. Humans are not weak. Humans are unstoppable." On distant worlds, the Varkans, Krillari, and Tijerwenen Dominion discussed the new balance of power. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. "The humans are here. They fight, they adapt, they conquer. And they are unlike any species we have ever faced." And above all, Earth remained resilient, cunning, and supreme. Humanity had faced the universe's scorn, had adapted, and had fought back with intelligence, audacity, and unyielding will. The stars shone brighter that night, not from the fires of battle, but from the recognition of a species that had transcended expectation. The universe had laughed at Earth, until humanity fought back. And now it would never laugh again.